How are you feeling after the layoff of the ankle injury?
Yeah, a bit yeah, normal coming back from injury. I think we've
Hmm.
got a few injuries in the club as well, so you just want to come back and help when you can. And yeah, probably a bit short preparation, but nah, it is what it is. That's the life of a footy player now.
Well, I was going to ask. Look, you came back from the injury, and you looked like you enjoyed yourself during the Leinster match, giving a wee bit to the Irish players. How was that? In terms of the battle, does that kind of get you going, having those wee words in between setups and stuff?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. No, I think this is how I play. I like to I don't know, I'm not too yeah, I think this is part of my game. I love playing against world class players, and a Leinster team are riddled with that. So to be able to chat with them, and yeah, it's a bit of gamesmanship as well. Like um and yeah, it helps me not think about how tired I am, to be fair. So that helps a lot. So if I'm talking, that means I'm not worried about if I'm too sore or if the back's a bit off or whatever. So no, it's nice to yeah, I love having a chat on the field.
And I was going to say, like, you had a significant impact in that game, but previously in the year, I was watching you play for Australia against the Lions. Obviously, the impact you had was quite significant. Like, how did you feel across that series in the games you played?
Yeah, I felt pretty good. Again, it was probably my no, yeah. Like I love playing for the teams I play with. It's our show, it's Australia, and you don't change your game at all. You don't. Nothing really changes when you're preparing for a game. And I think in the matches I play, yeah, I just try and be myself. Really, like that's just the main thing. And I know that if I know when I'm on and when I'm in form and I am chatting and I'm influencing the teams that I'm with. And no, I do. Yeah, and I do love being a bit chirpy on the field, and I love giving energy to my teammates and doing good actions for them as well.
And look, I know it was an important thing having Australia win at least one of the games and seeing the impact the kind of tour has a whole on Australian rugby. Like, obviously, the World Cup's coming up now. How do you feel that that's impacted Australian rugby and the preparation for the World Cup?
I think in the short term it was good. Like it, mate, you don't like losing a series at all, and and we've had a bit of that over the last few years. So to get a win against like a Lions team who was man, who was who had a great, congrats to them, and they had a great series. And for us to get that win at the end was a bit of it was a nice finish for us for that series. And then to head to South Africa and really build on that, I think what the boys have built under Joe Schmidt has been awesome. And I know we haven't been getting the results, but it's you can see as a collective and how tight the group is and how um, what you call it, how focused we are on the small details that, mate, it will work out in the long run. And I have no doubt that, this squad will do well. And heading into the World Cup, mate, like we're at home and we can't let that happen like overnight sort of thing. We've got to be able to build into that, and having a new coach come in as well is going to be a bit of a change. But the boys have built great fundamentals that should help us in that step.
Well, I was going to mention, like, you've played under some of the biggest names in coaching in terms of obviously O'Gara, Schmidt, Jones, and you have Kiss and McCall. Like, what have you learned from each of them, and what kind of impact have they had on you both personally and professionally?
Oh man, if I went through every single coach I've had, it would be here for an hour. No, I think you just take little bits from every coach. Every coach is very different in how they approach games. In terms of, I think the main thing me is preparation.
Hmm.
Um, I think different coaches have different approaches to preparation, but in general, it's pretty they're all high performance. Um, all detail oriented. Different guys will manage plays differently. If it's trying to motivate. Different coaches have different techniques in those in that stead, but all in all, I think those great coaches I've had have all been had that focus that you as a player, you bring that your individual strength to the team, and you make sure you don't change anything for that. And I've been lucky enough to have some great coaches in my career, and they've definitely molded me to the player I am today.
Well, I was going to ask you a wee one because I was talking to Dylan Lades not too long ago, and he was saying that you're a decent rugby away player.
Rugby 08? Oh no, fuck it. Oh, I'm all right, but Wingy, I think Wingy Antonio's got he's the champ man at the club at the moment. Oh,
Because
he's
he
played
was saying
on the
that
bus.
he was saying you'd be a bit chirpy about O'Gara's lack of tackling in it.
Yep, I've definitely gone through his stats in front of the team, and he's come in, and I've been ripping into him, and he's sat behind me, and he's not cared much. He's mate, Roger's good, and I can just tell he's a world class. He was a world class player, and he's definitely a world class coach.
Um, but look, I'll ask you a couple of wee easier ones, which is like, what's the most memorable moment of your career to this point? Not to say it's going to stop
Most
anytime soon.
memorable. Um, oh, you go your debut for your country is pretty special. I was lucky enough to score a try as well, and I got to debut another 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 great coach I had in my career, Ewan McKenzie. He
Yeah.
debuted me as well, so very grateful to him. Got to play against France at home in Sydney, which was great. That was special. I had all my family, my missus, my brothers and stuff in the sheds after too, which was really special. I think, and then club wise was probably I think oh winning trophies is very memorable, and probably the two first for me would be my first with Sarries. That first premiership I played in 2018, we won, and then probably the first that lifting the cup in Marseille with these La Rochelle boys.
And look, who is arguably, in your opinion, the toughest player you've played against?
Toughest? Fuck, mate. There's so many. Man, it's a tough one, man. Like,
So say it's an easy question, don't worry.
yeah, as you play against and you guys you play with, like, for example, a guy like Lips, like he's made of granite. Like you see what he does on the field, what he puts his body through at his age now, and he's getting on as well, but he's not showing any signs of guys you played with. Yeah, probably like a Botia, and then the real tough players who were Jerome Kainos, those Kiwi boys were,
Yeah.
man, Richie McCaw, like just relentless. They had a way of the way they played, the manner they did things. Man, we couldn't crack them for a long time, and arguably they're still tough to beat now in the squad and the All Black team. So, yeah, probably a mix between a Jerome Kino and a Richie McCaw always probably the toughest. Yeah.
And outside of rugby, how do you kind of relax? How do you find yourself enjoying your time away from the pitch?
So I've got two kids, yeah. Well, married with two kids, so yeah, they keep me busy. I love a bit of golf too, which is we've got the club's got the golf bug.
Yeah.
A few boys trying to get out heaps, and yeah, I live like a minute from the golf course, so I'm always out there trying to focus on my swing and not and not score too high. But no, that's probably one of them. Like, yeah, I loving golf at the moment. That keeps me real busy. My wife doesn't like that too much, but she's got a bit of a bug too, so that's nice that we can do things together.
Yeah.
And other than that, yeah, it's pretty much family time, golf. I've got a few video games too that you get to play every now and then on the bus, or if it's watching series. And but I do love code as well, so try and watch as much rugby as I can as well to whoever's playing, and I'm always on that buzz too. So.
I was going to say, do you take anything away from code to help you in union in that regard for yourself, or do you try and look at things tactically and think maybe if we alter it slightly, we can bring it for us?
What do you mean? Say it again. Sorry. From.
So look, I'm myself. I play Gaelic football, I play soccer, stuff like that.
Yep.
And you're looking at different things from different sports to able to give you an advantage for your sport. So would you go away, look at the rugby league? I know you're doing it more for
Yep.
enjoyment, but would you see something and be like, "Oh, look, that's not a bad thing. Maybe we could adapt it to
Oh,
help us
mate,
here."
yeah, for sure. I think I love rugby league. I grew up in Australia and New Zealand, so that in terms of the Southern Hemisphere, the league is definitely it's probably a bigger sport in Australia for sure. In terms of participation and sheer numbers and broadcasting and whatnot. But yeah, it's a great product at the moment, and oh yeah, definitely take it. Like I love watching it and love seeing the block shapes and I, I particularly love the skill of the middle forwards, so I definitely keep my eye on that and how they do things. If it's little tweaks and what lines they run, and because it is a different game, but
Mhm.
the skill set wise, you can really get away with a lot of the leagueies can. Man, they got really good skill and high level skill, and rugby nowadays is getting to that level, and it's really nice to see it in a different light and. Yeah, I try and take as much as I can from that when I watch games. How can that help
And
me? And how can that? What shapes can we run? And that's very similar to what the rugby we play.
yeah, and look, I've talked to a few of your teammates in the past while, and they all seem to be fairly fond of you. Do you know why that is? Is it because you'd have their back on the pitch, or is it just because of your general kind of personality? Like they all just seem to be very fond of you. Like what can you put it down to?
Uh, yeah, I'll probably bit of that. I probably bribe them every week. I try and make a few I love to bring treats into the team and no, man, I'm just trying to be me. Like
Mm,
I think what my strength of mine is to connect people and I'm not afraid to have a tough conversation or to to ask people those really tough questions, even if it makes people uncomfortable, if it makes me uncomfortable. No, I love having those conversations and I love bringing teams together. And I've been a part of some great teams that were connected. But not always mates. Like not every team you're gonna have clicks through teams, and I think that's what people don't understand with the high performing teams, man. Not everyone's mates. Like but you respect each other, and I think
mm.
no, but I make sure every day that I enjoy coming into training. I enjoy what I do, and I love rugby, so it's easy for me to do that.
I was going to say because I know at La Rochelle yourselves, you've got a whole dynamic mix of nationalities and people. Like, do you think that's kind of key, as you say, just kind of be able to understand everyone and kind of understand culturally, understand personally, to be able to get that success?
Yeah, 100%. I think and it is a massive culture shock. Like the language it's a massive barrier, really. Like for when foreigners come to France, it's tough. And then you see the players who have done long stints in France and they've really adapted how they've chosen to live and their lifestyle. I think that's when you get they get respect from not only the staff but the players and the boys really buy um, into how you do things too. I think that was the main thing for me coming here is really experiencing that culture and I love the footy. I love the way they play rugby and I love their mentality as well going into games because it's ever changing. One way doesn't work every year, and you can tell that now with rugby nowadays. Different teams are winning because they're adapting um, and yeah, it's really good to be a part of it.
And the last one before I let you go, because you mentioned that, like, obviously you're still at La Rochelle, but once you make the decision to hang up the boots and all that, is France where you're going to stay? You're going to go back to England? You're going to go back to Australia? Like, where is it for you that
I think we'll
feels
go.
like
I think we'll
home?
go home, mate. Yeah, my
Yeah,
wife's from the Central Coast in Australia, so it's about an hour and a half from north from Sydney, and that's where my all my family and most are. So we'll definitely, I think, go home, but we'll probably stick around here for a bit. And kids are at school too, so we'll see where it goes. I still got plenty left in the legs, and man, I
yeah.
feel really good. Like I picked up a few niggling injuries, but yeah, I try and get those right before we can avoid any chance of retirement. But no, I'm no, I've still got heaps in me, and I know I can give so much more for this team, and especially for Australia.
No, 100%. And look, well, it's been an absolutely pleasure talking to you, and I appreciate you taking the time.
Cheers, bro. Thank you.